Welcome back to the channel, USD Coins, where we explore rare coins, hidden treasures, and the stories behind the money that shaped history. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss another journey into numismatic gold. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but has a secret worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. One simple coin, with the words "one dime" stamped on the back, is now worth up to $920,000 in the collector's market. This is the fascinating story of the 1969 D. Roosevelt dime, a seemingly everyday coin minted in Denver that has taken the world of collectors by storm. Let's start at the beginning. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, the year after President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. It was designed by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. The dime was a tribute to Roosevelt's legacy, especially his work founding the March of Dimes to combat polio, a disease he himself battled throughout his life. Now fast forward to 1969, a monumental year in American history. Man had just walked on the moon. The Vietnam War was raging. The Woodstock Music Festival united a generation. But quietly, almost unnoticeably, the Denver Mint struck millions of Roosevelt dimes, including one particular variety that would one day become one of the most sought-after modern coins in the world. The 1969 D. Roosevelt dime is part of a long-running series, but it stands out because of its condition, rarity, and mystery. Most dimes from this era were struck in enormous numbers. In 1969 alone, the Denver Mint produced over 145 million dimes. So how could a coin from such a massive production year possibly be worth so much? Here's where things get interesting. Among those millions of coins, a few were struck in nearly flawless condition, exhibiting pristine surfaces, deep mirror-like fields, and what collectors call full bands, a reference to the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse of the coin. These fine details indicate that the dies were fresh and the strike was powerful, resulting in coins of exceptional quality, but that's not all. There are theories that some of these coins were struck using proof dies or test dies intended for special collector sets but somehow ended up in general circulation. Some numismatists even speculate that a small batch was minted under special circumstances, perhaps by accident or as part of a test run, giving them a status somewhere between regular circulation and ultra-rare mint error. And then there's the grading factor. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A Roosevelt dime from 1969 D might only be worth 10 cents if it's worn and scratched. But the one that made headlines? It was graded MS 68 full bands by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. That's like the coin equivalent of finding a mint-condition vintage Ferrari in your grandma's garage. Almost unheard of. That single specimen was sold in a high-profile auction for a mind-blowing $920,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin you could have spent on a pack of gum.so. What makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First, rarity. There are only a handful of known examples in this perfect MS 68 full bands condition. Second, historical context. It's from a pivotal year in U.S. history and represents a crossover between eras of coin production. Third, and most importantly, collector demand. High-end collectors are always on the hunt for key dates, pristine conditions, and coins with mystery and story behind them. The 1969 D. Roosevelt dime has all of that and more. Let's not forget the design of the coin itself. On the obverse, you have the classic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, dignified, resolute, and instantly recognizable. His name curves around the top, with the word Liberty to the left and the iconic "In God We Trust" to the bottom left. The date, 1969, is placed prominently near the bottom edge, and the D mint mark just beside it signifies its Denver origin. On the reverse, you'll find the torch in the center, a symbol of liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. These represent peace and strength. Above, the words United States of America, and below, one dime, a reminder that this little piece of metal, once worth 10 cents, is now a piece of American history worth hundreds of thousands. Now you might be asking, could I find one of these in my change? Technically, yes. While the odds are astronomically low, it's not impossible. Rare coins like this often go unnoticed by people who don't check their change. That's why collectors always advise, check your pockets, your piggy banks, your old jars of coins. You never know what treasure might be hiding there. So, what's the takeaway? This isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of how something seemingly ordinary can become extraordinary through a mix of history, chance, and passionate collectors. The 1969 D1 dime Liberty coin reminds us that value isn't always in face value, sometimes it's in the story, the rarity, and the condition. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most fascinating coins, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Do you collect dimes? Let us know, we love hearing your stories, and remember, in the world of coin collecting, every coin has a story, and every story has value. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep the history alive. We dive into the fascinating history, mystery, and massive value of the 1999 one-dime coin minted in Philadelphia, because you might just be holding a piece of forgotten fortune in the palm of your hand. It's small, silver, and easy to ignore, but this dime is not like any other. This is the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, and today, it's making headlines for one extraordinary reason. Collectors around the world are on the hunt because a rare error in just a few coins has skyrocketed their value to a mind-blowing $830,000. You heard that right, not $8, not $800, but over $800,000 for a coin that was once worth only 10 cents. But how did this happen? How did a common-looking coin become a jackpot? Let's rewind the clock and dive deep into the full story to understand the value. You need to understand the legacy. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War I. Roosevelt had a personal connection to the March of Dimes, a campaign that raised money to combat polio, the disease that had paralyzed him as a young man. That's why the dime was chosen for his legacy, a coin with meaning, strength, and resilience. Since 1946, the Roosevelt dime has been minted every year. Some in Philadelphia, some in Denver, some in San Francisco, but not all dimes are created equal, and some, like the mysterious 1999 P dime, carry secrets worth more than gold. In the year 1999, America was preparing to enter a new millennium. The world was changing, and the U.S. Mint, with facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, was working overtime to meet demand. But something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A rare error coin was produced. To the naked eye, it looked like a regular dime, but to expert numismatists, coin collectors, and historians, it was anything but ordinary. Some of these dimes were struck using the wrong planchet, others had double dies, misalignments, or strange minting defects. The most valuable of these was the ultra-rare 1999 P. Roosevelt dime that was minted with microscopic anomalies, so rare that only a handful are believed to exist today, and one of them recently sold for a staggering $830,000. Now you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay over 800 grand for a 10-cent coin? Here's what you need to know. Collectors value three things above all else: rarity, condition, error, or uniqueness. The $830,000 dime had it all. It was in near-perfect mint state. Condition: graded by a top agency. It had a rare double die reverse, a minting error where the back image was struck twice and slightly misaligned, and it had a full band torch detail, a hallmark of crisp, high-quality strikes, highly coveted by collectors. Most importantly, only one in this condition has ever been found. That makes it a unicorn in the world of coin collecting, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Think dimes are boring? Think again. Coin collecting is no longer a quiet hobby, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry where rare finds spark international bidding wars, and the 1999 P dime is now one of the most valuable modern coins in U.S. history. In the past few years, collectors have shelled out fortunes for coins you might overlook. A 1943 copper penny sold for over $1.70 million. A 1975 No.S. Roosevelt dime sold $4.456,000, and now, the 1999 P dime joins the ranks of American coin royalty. Still think this can't happen to you? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked closely at your Spare change. Do you check the date? Do you check the mint mark? Do you know what to look for? Because somewhere out there in a piggy bank, in a cash drawer, in an old box from grandma's attic, another one of these ultra-rare dimes could be waiting to be discovered, and that person could be you. All it takes is a sharp eye and a little bit of luck. Here's your checklist. First, the coin must be from 1999. Look for the P mint mark. That's Philadelphia. Then examine it under a magnifying glass. Look for double lines in the torch on the reverse. Look for any misprints, doubling, or signs that the coin was struck improperly, and most importantly, if the coin looks unusual, don't spend it. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, because you could be sitting on your future college tuition, your dream house, or your retirement. As of now, the highest known sale of a 1999 P dime has hit $830,000. That's not a theoretical value, that's real cash paid by a high-profile private collector in a private auction. And as demand continues to grow, and fewer pristine coins are found in circulation, the value is only expected to rise. There are rumors of even higher offers coming in. Some say the next sale could cross the $1 million mark. In a world filled with digital everything, it's easy to forget the power of something small and tangible. The Roosevelt dime reminds us that history, mystery, and massive value can live in the smallest things. So tonight, before you empty your change jar, before you spend that dime on a gumball or drop it into a tip jar, take a closer look, because that one dime could change your life forever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss the next unbelievable coin story that could turn spare change into serious cash, because around here we turn copper into gold and dimes into dreams.